guys, Wild Little Man here. It's the hashtag Fix Brawl and Fix Challenger video that I've been wanting to put up. Now, unfortunately, I did all these on my phone, so I cannot go back and show you what's wrong with Brawl. But I will tell you what's wrong with Brawl. So, this is my teams. These are my teams here. As you can see, I'm not a slouch. My teams are not slouches. Okay. Actually, constellation wise, I'm not done Constellation 5, but I'm a good way through. Okay. And um, you know, a lot of people are not this far. I actually think I'm not that far off of being in the top 100 as far as box CC goes, or actually, if you look at the combat class ratings, as far as best team goes, I'm ranked 63 for the best box, the best team in the box. So I'm not a slouch. And I mean, I'm in the top 1%. Obviously, I'm not as strong as these whales here, which I thoroughly admit. But, if you go down to rank 100, I'm not that far off. Okay. And like I said, my my box CC can improve quite a bit, actually, which I'm going to work on as soon as I'm done with this video. But if you look at these Brawl records, I was higher than every single one of these people. Believe two of them, the Primordial guy over here where I failed, and Richie, they had an alt rush team, which I beat. I beat the alt rush team. That's not the issue for me. My issue is for Brawl with the unknown team. Well, one of the big problems, okay, is if you have a card to merge with this team, 9 out of 10 times they're gonna merge the card, which makes you lose. It's almost guaranteed every time you're going to lose. Okay, so even if you go first with this team, because you're only attacking twice instead of using 3 cards and wiping out the whole team like you would normally, this team merges of like 80% of the time to 90% of the time. And it also happens with other teams as well. It's most noticeable with this team because if this team does it, it's really almost impossible to win. When it doesn't do it, it crushes real quick, and you can tell because I've watched the videos, the replays in the Brawl. This team is my strongest team, 351,000 combat class, right? And I only pit it against other demons. I don't put it against any other team. I just put this team against demons, and I can't win a match. I've lost 9 out of 10 with this team. And it's not because it's a weak team. It's because Chandler doesn't taunt, or instead of Chandler making Zeldris not be able to use his infect, and he doesn't taunt for Chandler. That's why I lose. I watch the videos because you can watch the replays. If you I did this on my phone this morning, and And when I logged out to log back in here, I was going to replay these for you, but since I did it on my phone, I can't replay these. Because right here you have a little thing where you can replay all these and see. That's the big thing. Okay? That's the biggest thing with Brawl is if it doesn't want you to win, you're not going to win. Even though your teams are better, your teams are better and you're much stronger. Like my last fight with against the Demon team, I was 20,000 combat class higher than their Demon team, and I lost because the game just didn't want me to win. And that's one big thing they need to fix on Brawl is make it even for everybody. Like if you have a if you have a team where you're going against the unknown teams, let the unknown team use 3 attacks. I mean, that's the main thing with unknown teams is you use 3 AoE attacks, you stat down them, you make sure that if this thing did if Brawl worked properly, okay, what it would do is it would use sorry. It would use the infect, and that's why I set this team up this way. It would use the infect, it would use the dissolve, and then she would weak point, and you would do massive damage. And the next turn, even though you lose a character, you'd still win the match 90% of the time as long as you go first. You don't do that because that's the way it's set up. It's if you're not set up right, you will fail. And like I said, for the Demon team, they don't you have Chandler work the way he's supposed to work. It's very frustrating. And those are my issues with Brawl. I am going to do some fights in Challenger here. Just need to set up everybody. I apologize. Let me make sure all the subs are good. I'm at 45, so I think I should be okay. Yep, everybody else is in HP defense gear. We're good. The way to fix Challenger, okay? This is what you do. You make sure that in order to play Challenger, all characters got to be level 100, and all main characters have to have UR gear. No food. The reward for Challenger should be Fest coins, because like for me, we'll go right to the shop here. Whoops, wrong shop. I don't think I've bought in this. I think I have actually bought in this week. The things that like this is 6,000 all by itself if you want all of these, okay? And then if you want to buy the food, these are the main things that are bought. Is the food. Also, if you're somewhat low, somewhat starting out, you pretty much want to buy every single weapon in the shop. Okay, you want to do that because that's, let's see, 5, 11, 17, 20. 20, let's see, 26, 32, 38, 39, 45, 51, 57, 59, 59 weapons. That is 59 points for your constellations right there. Okay, so that's just a little side note. Yeah, but literally for PvP, for Challenger, make it so that the food there's no food and you get just as many points as you would for Fight Festival, because when you hit champion you only get 3,000, and literally that's what I do is I farm this Challenger just for coins. So if they were to not have any food and make sure everybody had the main characters had to be 100 with UR gear as a prerequisite to play Challenger, more people would play. Lots more people would play, because that way of course um, that way a lot more people would play Challenger. Way more people. Because most of the time I'm fighting bots all the time. And it's when I do fight people in Challenger now, all they do is use combat class food. It's so bullshit. It's so annoying. And very, very frustrating. Ooh, he might kill my Millie. Actually, he will kill my Millie. But that's the frustrating thing, is there's really no need of it either, as far as that being the case. Um, a section of PvP should be fun. The problem is it's not fun anymore because of the way it's structured now. It's extremely frustrating. And it makes it much harder for people to enjoy the game. Like, I don't enjoy the game anymore. I slowed my spending way down because I don't enjoy the game anymore. And if they did that, it would, I feel it would really fix the game to the point where more people would play Challenger, because it's heads up that way. And you don't have to worry about alt rush teams. You don't have to worry about all the nonsense of evade food and combat class food and getting beat out. Like, and I'd fight harder players because I know the stronger people would play more if Challenger was set up that way. A lot of them do like the flex. Um, and it makes it extremely frustrating when you can't have fun. Like I don't have fun anymore when I play PvP. I find it a grind, and it gets very very frustrating because you can't really do much. Because most of the time you're getting screwed over um, by somebody with combat class food. You really can't, like a majority of players, I wouldn't have a hard time against. And like I notice for Challenger a lot, like of course I'm videoing, so you're not seeing it right now, but a vast majority of the time, they're getting tier threes like on turn two. But obviously because like all of the matches that I've lost, if they haven't been to um, if they haven't been to people using like combat class food, which I have won a few, but like this, all these losses are literally because I killed somebody in turn one, and for the next turn they get a tier three card. So right on their first turn they get a tier three card, and then they get their ult and kill me. Which it's like this guy. Look at this. Using combat class food and challenger. What is the point? I mean seriously, what is the point? He really did that, huh? He really did that? Okay. I mean, okay. But I mean, like using combat class food and champion, I just see why. There's no point. Like there really is no point in doing that. And I don't get why people do that. It just makes no sense. Why use it here? There's no point to use it here. And see, this is why I lose because people are just dumb. I mean, You don't get any extra for anything. So why use it? You should be using this. If you're not, you fail, unless you're doing a showcase. Like that guy, if he didn't have combat class food, he was 69, 269 ish. Right? Okay, so this guy is not using combat class food. And I think it's a bot too, to be honest. And that's why I'm going straight for his Meliodas. Because I think this is a bot. And look at the tier 3 card. See that? And that's what I mean by getting hosed all the time. That's what happens all the time. Like for the ones, the combat class ones I haven't lost, that's why right there. Happens all of the time. And he got his alt. Like this is such a reoccurring theme in this that it's very frustrating. And he'll probably get his alt back too. That's shocking. Yeah, this is a bot. Um, but I mean, I can still win, obviously. But the issue is there's so many times where that's not the case. Like for me, if I'm down to my last player, I don't ever get tier 3s. Like I think down to my last player, I think I've got a tier 3 once out of the last 100 fights. That's my RNG. Like I said, that's like my account's close to the top 100, and I stopped doing endgame content because my RNG is so bad. Like obviously this time I was able to take care of it, but um, this is what makes it frustrating. Is you really like that was a prime example, except usually it happens right on turn one, and somebody gets an alt or something on turn two. Yeah, if I don't like for this team, if I didn't kill Gother, he was dead. My melee was dead, and I'm glad I targeted Escanor too to make it balanced. Oh, is this a real player? And I'm gonna crash. Watch code to coat lock right here. Watch this. I'm going to DC. Oh, the opponent disconnected. Okay. I thought it was going to be me. Rage quit. Usually what happens is I'm not the one that DC. I'm the one that usually DCs. But anyways, guys, that's my rant. Okay. All they got to do to fix this, literally all they have to do for Champion to fix this, is set it up so that um, CoinGauge, the Fight Festival food is active, but no food is allowed. And make sure everybody's 100 with you. All four main characters have to be 100 with UR gear. Done. More people will play Challenger. Like, way more people. Because you could actually see how good you really are. You know what I mean? I can't tell how good I am, but like I'd say if I didn't fight people with combat class food, even though the game likes to screw me when I play against a bot, I'd be 75 of 80 easy, very, very easily, if people weren't using combat class food in Challenger where there's no reason to use it. And the game's been going on for a few years and they haven't fixed this. They'd get so much more play if they just made the three recommendations that I said. So let's try starting a hashtag fix brawl and Challenger and see what happens for 7 Deadly Sins. Alright guys, that's my rant video. We'll talk to you later. Bye.